Good evening, everyone. I'd just like to start off again to thank the Ram organization, the Conkey family, specifically Mr. Stan and Josh, for allowing Sean to give me this unbelievable opportunity to fill in as head coach. Can't be thankful enough. Also, thank you to Mr. Kevin Demoff, Les Snead, and Tony Pastores, who've known me since my start here, and they've watched me accelerate throughout my career. I couldn't be more thankful. I think it's very important to acknowledge that these young men went out there and played against a starting crew from another team. They fought competitively, and they did it together. Usually, when you go through ups and downs of life, it's all about how you respond, and I couldn't be more happy to lead a group of men that went out there and respond together and collectively. Coach McVay always talks about our style of play, playing fast, fundamentally sound, attacking, being situationally smart, taking care of the ball and taking it away. And I think in all facets of the game today, you will see that to be represented. Couldn't be more proud to lead this group.
Coach, I gotta ask you this question. Are you or Bennett gonna take the offensive line out to dinner? Because some young men did a hell of a job of allowing you guys to go down to town and get the winning touchdown.
Yeah, see, they did an unbelievable job.
Yeah.
You know, I think in this game, I've learned, my first opportunity in the NFL was with the offensive line and running backs. And I really understand how important it is for the game to start up front.
Yeah.
Even when they broke the huddle, they took the field with a charge. They aggressively attacked the line of scrimmage, and they protected and they gave us some opportunities. More importantly, on those long drives, and maybe they come out with points, I just made sure I encouraged them because I saw the fight for us to be able to punch it in together.
Aubrey, two shots there, two major. What stood out to you about just his demeanor during those periods?
The response. You're going to hear me say response a couple times in this press conference. I think it's very important to, when you give up an interception the way you do in that situation, and then you come back and you just respond. That's what life's about, and that's what we want to see specifically from a quarterback. It was high stakes. Anytime they gamble in that situation, it can be difficult, but he wasn't. And he was trying to be aggressive. It was very, very important that we acknowledge that. I just really understand his cool, calm demeanor. We've all seen him win a couple national championships in college, and you see some of that thread work with his confidence and his belief in his teammates, and the same that they have in him.
How much of a confidence builder was that last drive for your quarterback license?
Oh, it's unbelievable. Earlier we talked about establishing our style of play. I talked about being situationally aware. We were in an ozone situation, a situation that we've practiced multiple times, and to see us go out there and execute it, but also with some younger receivers that stepped up, that was awesome.
Aubrey, Matthew Stafford was scheduled to work out today before the game. Can you take us through what happened there?
Yeah, at this point in time, anything regarding Mr. Stafford, I'm going to wait for Coach McVay to address you guys on Monday.
Was he at the game? You ran the team today. Was he on the sideline or here today?
Anything regarding Mr. Stafford, I'm going to let Sean go ahead and regard that. And be honest with you, I was so tapped into the ones that had jerseys on, I wouldn't be able to honestly answer that second.
How do you describe Stetson's growth over the last couple of years and where he is now? Even his body language of playing looks like, okay, now I belong, and I'm not so sure that was the case before.
That's right. Well, we talk about communication both being verbal and nonverbal, right? And that means a lot, especially the leader. And you can see through his body language, his disposition, and his continued steady state that he's had a lot of physical, emotional, and I'd say spiritual growth as well.
Coach, you talk about Jacquez on it and just how his running style was kind of violent, but at the same time it was very productive. How do you see him growing in the next preseason, this preseason?
He has a unique style of running that's a little bit different than some of the other backs, and I think anytime you can have that versatility, it only makes you stronger offensively. There was a joke in the defensive back room during camp. We said, we guarantee whoever hits in the first play is probably not going to make that tackle. He does a good job running behind his pads and staying forward, and for an offensive line, that's all they want to see is get those chains moving, and it keeps it easier for the quarterback and for the offensive coordinator to stack plays. I thought AJ really came out hot. I think the thing that we understand really early is they were taking those 3-by-1 isolations into the boundary, and after a couple plays back to back, he kind of stood up and realized what it was going to be. And I think that was with their first group where they were trying to get quick and easy throws and kind of explosive plays to kind of get those guys out. And I was very, very proud of how he responded.
You have a lot of younger players out there vying for jobs. Who stood out to you that we may not have noticed?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's very hard not to give respect to all the receivers. I mean, that entire young crew. I mean, no matter if it was Edwards with the long, if it was Presley at the end, if it was, True making sure he got in that position. I mean, it's unbelievable how much our young receivers really just took the bull by his horns today. And I also want to give a shout out to some of the younger players who are playing on defense, because sometimes defensively, when there's nothing to really acknowledge, that means they did their job. And that's a hard thing sometimes to understand in this NFL, but I want to give them respect. And again, shout out to my leader, Coach Chris Shula, because he did a phenomenal job calling the game and making sure it fit with our offense.
In between that interception and that game-winning drive, what was your message to Stetson?
Reset, breathe. We're all here for a reason. And then what we do is we respond to them. People are looking more for our response than necessarily our actions. And those things carry weight. And I wanted them to know that I was with them. And I just wanted them to keep fighting.
What was today, sorry.
Last one, guys.
What was today like for you as you thought about this moment, but even like the pregame talk, the postgame handshake with the coach? You had some words for Harbaugh. I don't know if you could share that, but like just the entire day, how did it live up to the expectations that you had?
Well, as coaches, we're professional critics, right? And at the same time, I'm doing that immediately to myself. I mean, what are some things that I could have done better? Coach Harbaugh and I have known each other for quite some time. When I was a young coach in the NFL, he actually tried to get me to come to the University of Michigan a couple times. So we've known each other throughout our career. And it's just the kudos and respect for each other. He's known me since I was a young coach, and he was just giving kudos to my progression. And I'm sorry, I can't remember the other.
Just like the entire day, just like
Yes.
the drive here, knowing that
Yeah.
this would be your team on this particular day.
Yeah, well, my father always said luck is when preparation meets opportunity. This is something I've been preparing for quite some time. It's something that I'm proud, and I understand that I'm standing on the shoulders of those who've come before me. So I think it's very important that I represent this thing correctly. So far from the game, I thought everything was pretty good. Maybe after that long, explosive touchdown, I could have gone for 2 to put us in a field goal winning situation. I'm already thinking about that because that's something we could have done to be a little bit better. But that's my job, and I think if my players know I'm trying to get better, they'll only do the same thing.
Thanks.
Okay, guys.
Thank you, guys.